What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. So last night, 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 7, Episode 8 aired, and we checked in with Bilal and Shaeeda, and Shaeeda had a doctor's appointment, and it was actually an appointment to go over her lab test. And when you're called into the office, you're usually aware that the information that they're going to give you is not going to be information that you want to hear. Whenever you go and do blood work or you do any labs, they can't tell you what's going on over the phone. Your heart automatically goes to a very strange place. You feel this lump in your chest and you just wonder, what is it that they need to tell me that's so important? So we're watching and we learned that Shaeeda has a low egg reserve. So apparently, I learned this recently while watching the show. Women are born with all of the eggs that they receive in their lifetime. So I'm not exactly sure why that is, and they can't produce eggs throughout their life, but that is just the process of how women's bodies work. So 2/3 of those eggs are no longer usable, and she is working with a low reserve of eggs. Her probability of getting pregnant is about 5% or less, which is extremely low. And she only has about 6 months to do that before she needs to start looking to other processes of getting pregnant, as in vitro and other ways, or in freezing eggs as well. So what we're wondering is, how is Bilal going to get out of this one? Because he has always said that he wanted to wait a few years, and a few years is just something that Shaeeda does not have. So how is he going to talk his way out of this? Because at this point, the only thing that he can do is start trying to have a child with his wife, which is really her only option at this point if she wants to have one naturally. And at this point, Bilal has no interest in doing that. Now, why they got married knowing that she wanted children right away still baffles and puzzles me to this day. Shaeeda was extremely open and honest with Bilal about her goals and wants of having a child and being a mother. Bilal even acknowledged that and even said that it was something that they could talk about. But every time this conversation comes up, Bilal says, I don't want kids right now, and Shaeeda says, I do. That's not a compromise nor a conversation. That's two people stating what they feel and facts. And in order for a marriage to work, I feel like there needs to be some sort of compromise. Now, if Bilal isn't ready to have a child now, what would be different in 2 or 3 years? Because what is he doing now that he won't be doing in 2 to 3 years? I just don't understand why he doesn't want children, because he already has two children. There are people in the world who have just never had that parent vibe about them, and they've never had kids, and they don't feel bad, and they've never looked back. But the idea that Bilal has two kids that he really loves and he's in their lives and he is a great father to, it's really confusing as to why he is not interested in giving the woman that he currently loves a child. And I feel like that is the one thing that she has asked for. She's come to America, she's left everything behind, she's left her business behind, and she even signed a prenuptial agreement that she didn't want to sign. The only thing that she has asked Bilal for is to give her a child, and he is not interested in doing that. So will this marriage work? Will this relationship work? Can a marriage work without compromise? We're going to have to keep watching and see exactly what goes on in this process, and see if Shaeeda ends up pregnant by the end of this season. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey and GeorgeMossey.com for all your 90 Day Fiancé news and updates.